All right, welcome back, horror fans. We are doing another scary story night tonight. I got Tricomy back with me, and we've got a brand new spine-chilling horror story for y'all out there. Again, we're doing holiday, Thanksgiving-esque stuff since we are in the month of November here in the States, so Thanksgiving is the holiday coming up. Tricomy, have you had a chance to look over the story at all, or do you know anything about this?
No, I got it pulled up, but I haven't had a chance to stare at it. So
Gotcha.
I know nothing about it, which means I'm probably gonna be in for another, baby in the oven.
No babies in the oven this time. I mean, I thought that one baby in the oven was enough for everybody.
It really was. Like,
I can't promise that we will not have future babies in ovens, but I will try to pick through most of these things and avoid as much babies in ovens as we can. If you guys are, yep.
You need to.
No, they'll be vetted a little bit. Jayhan's Gaming, welcome in, buddy. So again, if you guys are joining us over on YouTube, please go ahead and like and comment down below if you enjoy the content. If you are not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and go ahead and comment down below that you subscribe for us. I like to reach out to all my new subscribers, and I'd be more than happy to sit there and kind of pin you guys at the top and see how you guys are doing and how you guys are enjoying the content. If you're joining us over on the Twitch side, again, welcome in, but make sure you go check out Tricomy. My lovely, beautiful partner in crime over here, Tricomy.
Yeah, come check me out. Give me a follow, please. I really need them.
Yeah,
they help me out.
We're gonna get them up there. If you're looking for it, it's twitch.tv/Tricomy, Tricomy.
I'd like to make some bigger and better changes, and Twitch won't let me until I get enough people here.
We'll get you there, buddy. We'll get you there, buddy.
Well, I'll get there. Also, as per new, we do have our one little friend of the show, thegoldennook.com. If you are a lover of anime like horror and myself, and you would like to maybe buy yourself some figurines, maybe you've always wanted to look for figurines, maybe you never knew where to kind of look for them, go to thegoldennook.com. I'll go ahead and put my little coaster up here for you, if it'll show up, thegoldennook.com. And you can go check him out. He's got really good deals on figures and stuff. You can find figures like the one I got on my desk, or like tumblers I've got also sitting here on my desk. Really good prices, really good merchandise. Go ahead and check him out.
Oh yeah,
at thegoldennook.com.
Pristine looking stuff. If you guys are wondering how to spell that, it is down in my description below over here on YouTube. So
I don't know, Jayhan, how are you not following me?
Oh, Jayhan, get over there and give that man a follow. Hey, if you're in here right now, get on over there and give that man a follow. He needs it.
I got 12 now.
There we go. We're getting him.
I'm moving up.
Bit by bit, he's gonna move on up. He's gonna overtake me someday. It's gonna happen. But the story for tonight, again, we're following, like I said, with the Thanksgiving theme, so it's gonna be called Be Thankful. Tricomy, what's your favorite dish at Thanksgiving? What type of food do you enjoy the most whenever Thanksgiving comes around? What tickles your fancy?
Pie.
Very Dean Winchester answer right there.
I mean, it's the truth.
Where's the pie?
I have pies upstairs right now.
You've got pies, like pies plural upstairs.
I have pies plural. There's an apple bourbon pie sitting upstairs and a bourbon pecan pie because I am a bourbon guy.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. We learned two things about you tonight: bourbon guy, and apparently he really likes pie.
I love pie.
I mean, I enjoy pie. Pie's good. It's definitely one of those things that like you don't really have any other time of the year except for the holidays around here. So pie is definitely a staple in the United States over here. But I think my favorite thing for some reason has always got to be the green bean casserole. I don't know what it is about it, but like it tickles me good. Maisie, welcome in. So that's my go-to. If I'm gonna sit there and have something, it's got to have the green bean casserole.
I don't know how I feel about green bean casserole.
Well, you're wrong. So
there was a dish that my aunt makes that my wife started making, but I can't remember what it is. It was freaking one of my favorite dishes that I only get when my aunt makes it, or
okay.
when my wife gets it. Tamales.
Tamales are great. Oh, dude. Best part
says tamales.
Best part about living in Texas is just everyone. There's tamales everywhere. Like you're up in Missouri, you don't understand. Macy says hello, by the way.
Hi, Macy.
You don't understand the sheer amount of tamales you get up here, and every one of them is fantastic. Like I swear to guys, I used to be like a size 6 before this, but then Christmas came around, and all my neighbors brought tamales over, so like. I'm a little above a size 6 these days, so I can't, But tamales are great, man. Jayhan, if you're coming over, bring tamales.
She just reminded me, it is a corn casserole with cheese. It sounds weird. I mean, I know.
Yeah,
but
you got me perplexed.
It is the greatest thing that I've ever had. I will have to have my wife give the recipe, and I'll shoot it to you, and you'll have to have...
I'll have a look over and see if maybe that's going to be added into the repertoire for today or for this week, next week. So we'll see.
Because it is definitely fantastic.
Okay, yeah, send it on over. We'll check it out. All right, well, back to what we're doing. We found this story over here on the creepy pasta wiki. So this is not from our regular No Sleep Reddit stories, but again, it's Be Thankful. Thanksgiving themed. Author is called Locked334, also known as C.L. McClendon. He actually has quite a bit of stories over on his on his wiki over there. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We are discussing Thanksgiving because that's what's coming up next week in the States up here. So the story of tonight will be centered around that idea. It is another horror story. So. Tricomy, do you want to do the narration and I do the funny voices and whatnot? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weird voices in this damn thing. So 8 if you count the narration.
You're the one with the thing that pulls out the voices, so yeah, probably should take the narration. Okay. You take the narration. I will do everything that has some sort of quote around it. But without kind of waiting for too much longer, let's go ahead and jump into this one and see why we should be thankful. Alrighty. Nick curled up on a park bench and pulled at his jacket in an attempt to block the chilling wind. His body was cold and his stomach begged him for food. It had been a week since he had had a real meal. And it did not help that every store was advertising Thanksgiving dinner. He would lay and stare at the advertisement of freshly roasted turkey and dressing with cranberry sauce, his mouth watering at the thought. It had been 6 years since his last Thanksgiving, but he could almost taste it. Nick had come so far from that loving home, and now the streets were his residence.
Okay.
When he could not take the ache anymore, Nick found his way to the local soup kitchen. If he'd ventured there sooner, he may have been in luck, but the wares had been cleaned out by the homeless of the city hours ago, and the doors had been closed. Nick's feet shuffled down the sidewalk toward a small diner. He hoped he could find some scraps among the trash to settle the argument his body was having with his mind. His fingers plucked through the rotting debris that most people would never consider consuming, but Nick was desperate. His search distracted him from everything else. A gentle tap on Nick's shoulder startled him. Most people avoided the homeless like the plague, but at this moment, Nick had been approached. He turned to face a rather well-dressed young man with clean-cut brown hair and a tailored suit. The young man's blue eyes seemed to twinkle a bit behind his cheery smile as he extended a gloved hand outward toward the far less clean man across from him. Nick shakily took the person's hand and shook it, more out of reflex than anything. He had been raised to give a firm handshake to anyone who offered. The idea felt sick when he pondered it.
Okay, alright, just before we get into the quotes. Homeless guy, out on Halloween, he's been thinking about Halloween for a little while. Where do you foresee this going? By the way, Maisie, I hope you do get the school captain. That would be wait for you. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Good luck to you.
You mean thinking about Thanksgiving?
No. Where do you...
You said Halloween.
Is it Halloween?
We're doing Thanksgiving.
No.
It's Thanksgiving.
Look, there's a date happening, okay?
I'm just trying to make sure that you're talking about the right thing.
No. Where do you foresee this going? All right, so we've got a homeless guy is being approached by a young man. I just want to kind of get where you think this is going to be going. So I can see if you're right or if you've already read the story and you lied to me and everybody else here.
Hannibal Lecter?
I ate his liver with fava beans. Chianti.
He's gonna take the homeless guy home, and then he's gonna have a great Thanksgiving.
That sounds
I don't...
honestly delicious, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm into it. All right. So we got Hannibal Lecter. I know what's gonna happen, so I'm not gonna weigh in on it. But we'll see. Let's see if Nick himself becomes a side dish this Thanksgiving. My name is Benjamin.
The young man said, breaking the silence.
Nick.
The older man's voice cracked.
You look like you could use a good home-cooked meal.
Benjamin's teeth showed from behind an even bigger smile. Nick's eyes grew wide at the prospect of real food, and his stomach growled in acceptance of the offer. Before he had truly thought of his choice, Nick was guided to a small car and asked to take a seat. As soon as Nick placed himself within the vehicle, his body instantly felt warmer. The heating system poured warm air through the vents, and it was like a little piece of heaven Nick had forgotten even existed. Benjamin returned to the driver's seat and started down the road away from the dark alley that Nick had called home for so long. Benjamin looked up to his rearview mirror.
My family has a tradition. We each find someone in need and bring them home for Thanksgiving. This year, you'll be my guest.
Nick nodded, half listening to the boy.
That's nice.
He watched out the window as the city began to disappear, as the car traveled further into the more rural area just beyond it. After a 30-minute drive, the car turned right onto a path that was beset by large oak trees. Even with all the leaves plucked from the branches, they seemed ominous overhead. Nick stared up at the encroaching forest as the little car traveled deeper into them. Within a few seconds, the trees opened up again to reveal a large clearing in the midst. Standing precisely in the center of this clearing was a large Victorian mansion that had so many lights upon it, it lit the entire area around it. It was like a festival of lights in the middle of nowhere. Nick's eyes scanned the beauty of it all as the car came to a stop at the back of a large circular driveway. He looked up the expanse of steps that led to an even larger set of wooden doors that were so intricately carved, Nick knew it must have been expensive. His gaze only broke when Benjamin opened the rear door.
Here we are.
Benjamin said with another smile.
Home sweet home. Ooh.
Nick stepped out. Not my home.
I'm getting chills, okay? I mean, you just some rando. I don't know, man. All right, so from the side of if you're homeless, yeah, I think it would be great. I don't know why I'm British. I'm British because I need to be. Because you can't trust the British. Okay, this is why. I don't know.
Why do you make all your characters British though?
I know. I like the British. I like the accent. So you're homeless. I know that this would be one of those things. I guess like if you are homeless, like yeah, you want to reach out and bring people in your home. I don't know. I would love to help people. I would love to go down to like soup kitchen and help and stuff like that. But like, I don't know about bringing somebody into my house. I think I've watched way too many scary movies to be like, I'm bringing in random Joe Schmo off the street to my house.
Hold on, you're more worried about bringing the homeless guy into your house? I'd be more worried about being the homeless guy being brought into the house.
So, and that's where I'm coming with it too. Like, all right, so is, I mean, I guess how long you've been on the streets, this may be like a blessing, and you might be thinking, oh man, this is great. I'm getting invited in. I mean, because there are places and people that are nice enough that will bring you in. I hope there's better people than me out there. But still, yeah. I could definitely see you being nervous. It's all nerve wracking. It's all nerve wracking. All right.
Nick stepped out without a word, his mouth hanging agape at the spectacle. He was guided up the steps and through the entryway. He found himself standing in a gigantic foyer with highly polished marble floors. The light from the chandelier above reflected on the stark white surface like stars. A tall gentleman approached Nick and reached out for his coat. Nick allowed it to be removed, and the man gently hung the tattered garment in a closet near the front door. When the man returned, they were ushered into a large dining hall to the left of the foyer. The table sat a good 24 people, and each seat was filled except 2. Benjamin greeted his family and introduced his guests before showing Nick to his seat.
The difference, Maisie, is whether you are the person being brought to the house or if you are the one bringing the new person to your house. Both are uncomfortable in my mind, and I'm not sure I would. Well, I definitely wouldn't want to be the guy being brought, but the bringing a person to my house with just me, with me and my family, I think is the scary part. I think the family part was what scares me. If I was alone, maybe I wouldn't be that bad, but that's the difference. We're so glad you could join us this evening.
Benjamin's mother stated with gentleness.
Yes. It's so good to share this holiday with many people who truly know what it means to be thankful.
The father replied with a much deeper tone.
Thank you.
Nick's voice came shyly, not sure how to take all this in, as he took his seat. For every well-dressed man or woman, there was a person of lesser dress to their side. Benjamin had been right. Each family member had plucked someone from the street to share their Thanksgiving dinner. He wondered how he had never heard of such a thing. Certainly an act of such generosity would get some sort of media attention. He silently reserved to the fact that he would have to make sure these people were commended for the caring act. Each of the homeless around him sat eagerly awaiting their meal, and within 15 minutes of idle chatter, the first course was brought to the table. So, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, so he's...
We got the secret club of, like, bringing homeless people to the...
So, yeah, he's saying that, like, oh, this would be media attention. I mean, if you're on the street, I don't know how many people are, like, keeping up with the daily news when you're homeless. I mean,
right.
Maybe that's, like, bigoted of me, or I don't know what the word would be for this point, but, like, maybe that's just dumb of me to be like, obviously, horror drunk, they're gonna be out there, like, searching the news. I don't think you would be. So, I mean, like, it's a weird thing to say, be like, hey, like, you know, these people, everyone should know about this. I'm like, I get that you want to be, you know, if this truly is this act of kindness, yeah, of course you want to make sure these people get recognized for it, but the fact that you're like, right. I've never heard of it, that's weird. Strange.
Well, I mean, and, like, I mean, he's a little bit right. You would think that, like, somebody would have said something, even in the homeless community. You would think if people were being taken to Thanksgiving every year and coming back.
This is B news, okay? This is like not even 8 o'clock prime time. You're getting this at, like, you know, this is like mid-afternoon where only the old people are watching the freaking TV. Be like, in today's segment, this wonderful family looking out for people every year. And everyone's like, yeah, what the fuck's on something else?
Look, it's on the 10th. It's on the 10th page of the newspaper. That one's usually thrown away. So they might find it.
I don't know, man. If you stick it right next to the classifieds, people are going to be there. They're going to notice it. We're so showing our age with the newspaper knowledge. Just give me the funny strips. That's all I care about.
I just want to see what Marmaduke's up to.
I don't even know if Marmaduke's still in there. I actually get a Sunday paper. I know Garfield's still flapping around. I need to look at my kid's newspaper and see if Marmaduke's still on there. If they off Marmaduke, I'm gonna be pissed. All right. So yeah. Moving on. It's still you.
Yeah. Plates of mashed potatoes with gravy, corn pudding.
Is that what yours called? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I no, no, it's not called corn pudding.
Okay.
Corn pudding, green bean casserole, and the were staged about the table, and as they were served, the needy dug in quick. Nick was no exception. His body almost acted of its own will as the proportions were shoveled from the dinnerware to his waiting mouth. A young girl in dirty clothes finished quickly and asked politely for more. The hosts were eager to share their wealth of food with her and anyone who asked for more. The second course included a perfectly roasted turkey, glazed ham.
The second course had the turkey?
Listen, that's how they roll in the upper class.
We're almost there, Maisie. I know. Second course has turkey. All right, I had to. What this whole? All right, keep reading because I'm gonna lose my mind over the second course. I don't know why. This is what's floored me here.
Just the sight of it made Nick swell with excitement. The second plate went down as quickly as the first, and his stomach was close to bursting. A cart was brought, adorned in silver plating that reflected the light of the room around them. One by one, lids were raised to reveal desserts of every imaginable variety. They had pecan pie, pumpkin pie, chocolate cake, red velvet cake, cookies, ice creams, puddings, and cobblers.
Do love me a good cobbler.
Nick almost fainted at the thought of so much food in one place. His eyes rested on a steaming plate of apple pie. He licked his lips as a big slice was placed in front of him. His fork dug in and pulled free a hunk of spiced heaven that was almost as big as his mouth. He laid it delicately on his tongue, and Nick's eyes closed with joy. A tear even rolled down his wrinkled cheeks at the taste. All of them had filled themselves to the point of barely being able to move, and could only hope this miracle could hold them over until their next meal.
All right, I've got a controversial subject that's going to get me kicked out of America. So everybody listen in. I don't like apple pie.
Get out.
I don't. No, not a fucking fan.
Get out.
Now, pumpkin pie.
Nope.
Macy's never had pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is actually one of my favorite ones. My wife turned me on to it like 15 years ago, and like, I love it.
I don't care. You get out.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
You un-American person. You.
I know. At least I don't put cheese on it like the Wisconsin people. But still, like, I just.
That's right, Tricomy. He doesn't like anything good.
No. I like. You need to leave. You're not. What do you mean? I'm not leaving.
Leave.
I'm gonna hide out in my closet. Nobody's gonna find me. I ain't going nowhere. I don't like apple pie. It was all right. It's just not one of those things. It never. All right. Here's my big issue with it. Is that like it never perfectly like stays together. Like whenever you have like pumpkin pie, like it's very neat. You can eat it neatly and it's all one. So whenever you try to put like ice cream on freaking pumpkin or apple pie or whatever, or even just eat apple pie on its own, it falls apart. It's fucking everywhere. It is like you need like a bowl and then still like 8 napkins to try and get through half a piece. Like, I think it's the fact that like it's just so fucking messy that I can't get past it.
Just because you've had badly made apple pies doesn't mean that all apple pies are bad. I go through this probably like every year where I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the coffee situation, which we'll get to that again later. Oh, dude, Tricomy, I already called you out in the frickin' chat. He's like, he doesn't like coffee, peanut butter, or Reese's, right?
No, we'll get to the coffee situation that I don't like. Yeah, I don't like peanut butter either, but still.
Yeah, look at you. See, get out.
I don't like peanut butter either. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I never like that. But yeah, well, like I said, we'll get to that one later. But yeah, no, it's just every time I've tried it. Every year I try it. I'm like, let me see if it's fine. And it's always that like it's that lackluster. Like I was never happy I ate that. Like I'm never in a good spot. So yeah, I don't like apple pie.
Have you tried the crumb ones?
Yeah. Yeah, I've had so many different types, man. Like I've had the lattice cut ones. I've had the.
We're gonna have to.
What do you mean, brother?
We're gonna have to tattoo a bald eagle with a flag on you to add a little bit of patriotism. So
what do you mean? I am the most American man on the YouTube.
All right, Heinz.
All right, let's move on.
I can't from this one now.
Anybody watching, make sure you subscribe below if you got to this point in the video. Follow the bird. Subscribe.
Follow the perb.
This will make sense.
This is why all your characters are British.
The burp. I love the burp.
You don't like apple pie. As the plates were cleaned and the table cleared, the family that had hosted them all took their wine glasses. The father rose and smiled at their guests as he toasted to the family and their tradition. He gave a small speech about being so thankful for his family and his friends like the ones they shared this night with. He then turned to his wife and the rest of his family and asked that everyone at the table give thanks for one thing in their life that they truly felt blessed for having. Each one of them took their turn, stating things like friends, family, jobs, security, and their mutual love. The father then asked their guests to do the same, and received more meager replies like warmth, food, clothes, shelter, and a repeating statement of
This meal! This meal right here, yo! Sorry.
The father gave a hearty chuckle.
Well, yes, of course. Can we play the game now?
A small boy near the end of the table squeaked.
Soon. We have to explain first.
The father replied. The boy plopped in at his mother's lap and pouted.
Okay. Little brat.
I know what's going to happen now.
You see, my friends, we have one more. What?
Are they gonna hunt? Are we doing the hunt?
They might be getting hunted.
They're gonna do the hunt. They're gonna send them out the back. This is the episode of, like, yeah.
I mean, the hunt is the best option. Okay, Maisie, thank you for coming in. I hope the dog is lovely and beautiful. The hunt is the best option you have. Okay, so like all right. So let's say if I had to go and get free food, and it's the most amazing meal I've ever had. Like I'm full to bursting. I don't know. I think I'd rather fight on a lower stomach, but still, like I don't know. It just I'd rather have the hunt. I'd rather fight than fucking be trapped or fucking drugged or something. Maisie says goodbye just in case.
See ya. Now, you know, how about you just give me a meal and I don't have to run or do anything again?
It's like the football game right after, dude. Like, you know, people go out and play football with their family right after they devour a turkey because reasons.
Who's they? Like, I've never done that.
Yeah, because you don't understand the joy that is American football. You come at me with this, you like apple pie, and we have like the most American sport here, which is a bunch of dudes hit each other as often as possible and cause brain damage, and that's more American than anything.
Let's be clear, and I'm about to be called out by every football lover on earth. I am so sorry if you love football, but when play stops because you get hit, that makes you a pansy.
Play stops because for certain reasons. There's strategic advantage to that.
No, grab it and keep moving.
Strategic advantage. Trust me, they want to.
I like sports that the hits keep happening. See, you know, I'm a hockey lover. When they get hit in hockey, play don't stop. They keep going.
I do like hockey. Go Blues. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm not nothing against football. I just never been a big fan. I understand why other people like it. I prefer my sports for people to keep getting hit. Like, I don't want the hits to stop. Like, for me, if the hitting stops, there's a problem.
You're just sitting in a corner. Again! Give me another one! Maybe too much. Scrap that. Again!
Hit him again!
Okay, fine, whatever. You like a little blood with your sport. Bloodsport?
Bloodsport? That's an amazing one. That'll be coming up on the Nostalgia Podcast for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. Jean-Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Also, if nobody's noticed, please look out for the future. We will be getting... we're working on some podcast stuff right now. I'm still in the midst of getting the horror one up, where hopefully a lot of this will be on there at all places where your podcasts can be found. But we are also working on a nostalgia podcast named TBD. So look out for that. Am I ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Take 2. You see, my friends, we have one more family tradition.
The father stepped to Benjamin and patted him on the shoulder.
It was Benjamin's idea when he was younger, and we have enjoyed it ever since. Now that you're full and rested in your seats, we're going to play a game.
Benjamin said while standing.
Yes. The person who brought you will give you a choice, and you must make it.
The mother said sweetly. Nick had always liked party games, and shifted in his seat a bit to see what this one would be. Benjamin rounded Nick's chair and leaned down with that same smile. The rest of the family stood as well and stood by their guest. Nick listened intently as Benjamin whispered in his ear the choice he would have to make.
Under the
Nick
table.
smiled.
Under the table now. Do it.
Oh, we're playing that game. I guess I gotta earn this meal.
Get under the table.
Oh, it's so bad. Nick's smile quickly faded as he pushed himself away from the table. His body shook as he slowly rose from his chair and looked around the room at all the frightened faces that had just learned the truth. The room almost started to spin at the notion of what he'd been asked to do. All of them jumped as the doors around them were bolted shut and the younger guests began to cry for help.
I'm just still picturing the under the table was what every one of them got heard and like, no! Please, God!
Not again!
Not like
again!
This! Sorry. Alright. Yes, that's right. You must either kill yourself or everyone else. Those are the only 2 ways you're leaving this room.
Tricomy, you were right. It's a fight to the death.
Bloodsport!
Benjamin placed a pocket knife in Nick's quivering hand.
Good luck.
The family disappeared out the remaining open door as the homeless inhabitants attempted to flee. They were shoved back by guards armed with submachine guns and instructed to remain in the room. Their only means of escape was slammed shut, and the sound of clanking metal signified their entrapment. Nick stared around the room at a half a dozen men, 4 women, and 2 children that could not have been older than 15. Each of them had been handed some sort of weapon, mainly pipes and chains. Nick seemed to be the only one to wield a knife, and he hoped that would give him an advantage. He'd not want to kill anyone, but he wasn't ready to die either.
You know how pissed I would be if somebody hands me a chain while fucking homeboy got a knife? I'm like, come on. Like, call bullshit.
I'm rocking it, dude.
You're rocking the chain?
I'll rock the chain.
No, you're gonna get tired. You ever try to whip a chain over and over and over? Like, you're gonna get tired fast. The knife is like easy, man. You got maneuverability, you're dancing with it, But you got a chain, you gotta like fucking try to like, I don't know, jump rope with that bitch? No, too much.
The children scrambled to the corner of the room and attempted to open one of the doors. One of the women followed and struggled with the doorknob. A large man across from Nick pulled a length of a chain around the neck of the smaller man beside him. See, no whipping needed.
How could you get that close? You wouldn't get that close.
It says you.
You wouldn't get that close.
Haha. All I gotta do is smile at you sweetly and I'll get that close.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you, I have a dark magician girl in my back pocket.
This is the man.
Let me see.
He passed me a dinner roll earlier. I think I can trust him. You're dead.
The small body lifted from the ground and a sickening crack echoed in the dining hall a few moments later. The sound caused one of the women to scream. Nick backed up to the wall and watched as a brawl ensued among the remaining men. It was a flurry of punches and swinging weapons. It was a flurry of punches and swinging weapon. Nick stared in awe of the brutality for a few moments before he felt the broadside of a piece of wood come crashing into his knee.
What?
Nick fell to the... Yeah. wasn't paying no attention. Nick fell to the floor, grasping at his aching joint. One of the men stood over him, ready to strike again, but Nick quickly shoved the knife through his Achilles tendon. Ooh! That hurts. The floor was painted red as the man squealed in agony. Nick grabbed the 2x4 and used it to get back to his feet. Two of the men across the room were on top of the children in the corner, punching them repeatedly in the head. The woman that was with them attempted to protect them, but her failure left her lying limp and with a large gash in her forehead. The entire room had been stained with their misfortune, and the sight left Nick quivering in place. The entire ordeal may have only lasted a few minutes, but to Nick it felt like hours.
How fast did this people, like, all of a sudden went and be like, yep, you're gonna have to kill somebody to get out of here. Here's some weapons. And they're like, don't mind if I do. Say less. Been staring at that little 15-year-old over there. He's been mocking me since he showed up. Square up, punk. It's too quick.
Yeah.
Way too quick.
The two women had clawed and scraped at each other before being silenced by a lead pipe to the skull. One of the men had attempted to take his own life by hanging himself from the light above the table, but his weight was too much for it. When the body came crashing down to the ground on the large wooden table, his leg snapped, exposing bone. His wails of agony drew the attention of another man who simply smothered the screams with his hands. The man on the table struggled for a short time, but when his oxygen ran out, his body fell limp on the table. Then there were only two remaining, and Nick broke from his trance to notice the other man circling the table and approach him. Nick gripped the knife tightly within his hands, thinking of what he would be forced to do to survive. The man picked up one of the lead pipes from the floor and began licking his lips like a predator preparing for a meal. Nick leaned on his good...
You just have this bloody moment. Like, there's carnage everywhere, and homeboys just walk around.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat this. Dude, you just ate. Like, why you looking like you hungry?
Why are you hungry, bro?
why are you so hungry? We just ate.
If I beat you, I'm gonna give me one more of them apple pies to go. Fucking weirdo. Where were you? I don't even remember where you were.
Yeah, here it is. Nick leaned on his good leg and kept the knife at his side. The man had not noticed the weapon yet, and that was what Nick hoped for. The man swung the pipe, and Nick leaned out to dodge it, losing his balance and falling to the floor. His attacker took another swing, and Nick used his good leg to drop a heel into the man's knee. Okay. Nick rolled to the side as he did this, avoiding the falling pipe by inches. The man tumbled to the floor, attempting to grab Nick in his fall. Within seconds, the large man was on top of Nick, squeezing at his throat. Through struggled breaths, Nick fought to break free, but the man's weight was too much. When there was no other option, Nick shoved the knife upward into the man's throat. He forced the blade in repeatedly, and his hand was soon soaked with blood. His attacker continued to grip Nick's throat for a few moments before finally falling on top of him. The warm liquid soaked Nick's clothes, and the feeling was sickening. Salty specks of his remorse coated his cheeks as he shoved the lifeless body off of him. He sat up sobbing at his actions as the doors unlocked and the family returned. They all clapped enthusiastically for the winner of their grotesque contest.
Woo! Caught him right in the throat, he did! The whole time, dude, like, alright, so he's fighting this whole thing. How is he the only... He just, like, slinks off to the corner and was like, this is the best hiding place ever. Nobody fucking suspects me. Like, they're fighting everybody but him. How?
He's the wallflower at this party?
Right, like... He got hit in the knee, which arguably, I mean, sucks, I guess. But, like, the fucking one guy tried to kill himself and freaking, like, broke his leg before he suffocated. What a horrible way to go. That's dude, and he's just watching this whole thing go down like, huh. I wonder if he's gonna, yeah, he's definitely gonna, oh. Should I, no, he's fine. He'll be fine. Oh, he's not fine. The whole time.
Yeah.
The whole fucking time just watching this go on.
Well, and it's like, like, I don't know, kind of agitates me that none of the men in here, like, decided the children were worth protecting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it immediately went from best meal ever to be like, you tell me I gotta fuck that kid up?
Right.
Time to fuck
not
that
one
kid
man,
up.
Right. Not one man stood between the children and freaking the other men in there, like...
Children, I think the children are like, what, 15 though? Isn't that how old they were?
I mean, but they're still young, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still standing between them and everybody else.
Look, I got a 15-year-old right now, and I know it's going to come to over here real soon where we're going to have to square up, all right? It's going to happen soon. So, like, maybe because I'm in this stage where I'm already trying to size up a 15-year-old, maybe I think it's not, it's not so bad. Every time he walks into a room, be like, is it today?
You plotting on me, boy?
I just want cornflakes, Dad. Move along. Anybody's gotten to this point, by the way, make sure, like I said, if you are enjoying this story, to give a like, comment below what you like about the story, and if you're on Twitch, give Tricomy a like and a follow, please.
Yeah, please. Pretty please. I needs it.
All right. So what are you thankful for?
Benjamin said as he approached his champion. Nick turned his eyes to the young man, seeing the smile that he had mistaken for generosity early in that night. All of them had been used as pawns, and though they were of the streets, they did not deserve this. Nick used the piece of wood again to get to his feet, still holding the knife. He began hobbling toward the door as the family watched. He did not want to give them the satisfaction of an answer. He simply wanted to leave. He had almost reached the exit when the father stepped in front of him.
We can't just let you leave,
the father said, holding up his hands to stop Nick. Nick's eyes grew wide.
But you said...
Benjamin slapped Nick on the back.
We said the only way you were getting out was if you killed yourself or everyone else in the room.
The words hit Nick like a ton of bricks.
Oh, he's gonna kill everybody.
He had been fooled into playing their little game with no chance of reward. His mind swam with the images of what had transpired within that dining hall, with the realization of how pointless it all was. He wished desperately he had never accepted the invitation, but it was too late for that. He had to figure out how to get out of this place. As he contemplated an escape, Benjamin rounded his side, still brandishing that stupid smile. That's when the idea surfaced. He grabbed for Benjamin, sliding an arm around his throat while holding the knife up to it with the other hand. Benjamin struggled while his family screamed for his relief.
Now, you're gonna let me out of here, or Pretty Boy is joining the rest of them.
Nick snarled as Benjamin fought to be free. Nick pressed the blade harder against the young man's skin, drawing a sliver of blood. The family backed away as the two started forward. Nick had to use the boy's weight for support, pain still surging up from his damaged knee. Any resistance from Benjamin only caused Nick to pull tighter. They slowly backed out the door and toward Benjamin's car. When they reached it, Nick demanded the keys, which Benjamin hurriedly freed from his pocket. The family stood at the front steps as Nick leaned back against the car and shoved the young man toward the steps. As Benjamin fell to the ground, Nick shuffled his way into the driver's seat. Again, he was bathed in warmth within the car, but he had no time to savor it. He shoved the car into gear and forced his foot down on the pedal. The father rushed to help his son to his feet as the car disappeared through the trees and into the night. Nick did not stop until he was far from the city. sure that the family would have reported the car stolen. When an hour had passed and he had not seen anyone following behind, he pulled to the side of the road and wept. The radio had been playing the entire time, but he had not noticed a word coming from it. The announcer broke the music to wish everyone
Happy Thanksgiving! This is your radio host, Chip Chetler at 1077 The Buzz. Well, asking you tonight, what are you thankful for this year?
Nick whispered into the night.
To be alive. The end. All right.
Written by Locked 334.
Locked 334, aka CL McClendon. Well done. Good story. All right. I'm not gonna say it's entirely scary. I think the idea of it is kind of scary. The storytelling was well done, though. I did enjoy it. The only question I think I have for the entire time was just like how quickly everyone else was like, guess we gotta start killing.
Right.
Oh boy.
Didn't take long at all, and they're like, all right, looks like we're gonna go ahead and end each other now.
Yeah, and the fact of just like how did they just not all of a sudden be like, here, we're sadistic and we're gonna make you kill each other? Why would they not immediately be like, you handed me a weapon, whap?
Right.
Like, where is the family during this whole thing? Are they? Because it said the kids ran away, but I'm assuming that means the kids who are the homeless kids. Are the family just still sitting at the dinner table while they're watching this happen all around them? I don't know if it says what happened to the plates. Brought out band silver plating, cobbler. Play the game. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, where?
Tricomy says pretty good, but lacked a bit of emotion for sure.
I think
no one else paused when asked to kill.
Yeah, I think it's a little short. There could have been a little bit added in there of these people, like, you know, being people and being like, what do you mean? You know, arguing back about it, and then them coming back with this more of an ultimatum of, like, they actually lock them in a room, or like, you know, because it doesn't say what happens to everyone. The family disappeared out the remaining open door, and the homeless inhabitants attempted to flee. They were shoved back by guards armed with machine guns and instructed to remain in the room. I missed that part. So there is machine guns there.
Yeah,
but still, you're stuck in a room.
We're not going to talk about this before we start doing it? Like,
yeah, it's so fast. It's so quick. You just immediately like, all right, cool, you're stuck in a room. Like, how fast do we become animals at this point? I mean, like, that's too quick. That's too quick.
It really is.
I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care whatever. It's too quick. The homeless people are people too. Like, nobody. We don't naturally just jump on those tendencies to sit there and become a terrible person. And if you do, psychiatric help. Because yeah. I mean that again. That's the only thing in this thing that I think is just kind of weird. Also, like, how quickly the family got out there. Like, nope, they're handing them all weapons, and they're all like, huh, I got handed a knife. Where are you going? Like,
right.
Nobody? Not one. You were so quick to kill the children, but you were not quick enough to be like, I wonder why they're backing up towards the only open door.
I wonder if I could get one of these guys with the guns before they get me.
Right? Like, come on, man. Like, that should be where it's at. All right, but that's the only one. Like, all right, if I had to rate this one on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like it's a good 7. It's not scary, not really, but it's a very good. It's got a good narrative. It's got good bones to it. There's maybe a little bit more fleshing out for a short story. I think it's well done. It leaves enough ambiguity to where you have to make your own conclusions and draw them from like why the family's motives are this, other than the fact of like, Junior here had a good idea last year. We just thought we were gonna have a bunch of people just bash each other's brains in. We thought it was a good idea. Like, right, come on, man.
We didn't question him at all.
Yeah. You know, Dad, I've just been thinking. I just really want to see what happens if I make people purge each other. Son.
Son, I think we need to have a talk.
Get the case. Like, what the fuck? Support your children, but don't support them in everything. There's some things you should definitely call the police for. That being several of them. Those are several reasons.
Right. Yeah, just... I mean, I'm going to go 5. And the reason why I go 5, it was decently written, but like I agree with Tricomy when she says there seems like there's a lack of emotion in most of the characters. Like, yeah, I don't think they flesh out that emotion enough. Like, it just doesn't. I mean,
well, the family should be emotionless.
Right. They don't seem to act as people would actually act in the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it. You're writing a story. You want the story to be scary and stuff, but yeah, it feels kind of flat. Decent writing though. Like, I mean, like I didn't stumble all over the writing. The stumbling was all just me my brain not catching up with my mouth.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed the writing. That was good.
Writing was decent, but I give it about a 5. Like, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't amazing. Wasn't terrible. For me, like you said, wasn't scary.
Nobody got Hannibal Lecter.
Right, I was hoping. Well, I mean, I would have loved the Hannibal Lecter thing. It would have been at least creepy.
That would have been a good twist. Like, it would have been all right. So picture this. All right, we have the same story, but like as the night goes along, like, a couple of the homeless people excuse themselves to the restroom, and then like new dishes are being brought out. And then after so much time, they're like, well, we can't bring out more dishes. Now we're gonna have the purge. So like, and then also, hello, you've been eating your friends or your compatriots, at least at the point. Princess Rage, welcome in. How you doing,
Princess?
So yeah, I think it was I think it was well done. But yeah, I agree with you. For like I said, for a short story, I mean, this didn't take us too long to read other than our arguing back and forth about who's American enough to be on this channel. But still, it wasn't bad. I liked it. I think it's like I said, you think 5? I could definitely see where you came with that, because again, like, for being I don't know, well, it's a creepypasta. So yeah, you would imagine it can be kind of scary, but I guess.
Or creepy. I mean,
the idea is creepy. The idea is inherently creepy. If you were homeless and there's people, or just the idea that there is people out there who would be in this like sadistic idea of like, we're gonna take people home and make them kill each other while we watch. Like, it's creepy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be creepier if it was like, like we were saying, like fucking, Jethro Tull out there in fucking Alabama. We're like, we'll throw him in the pit, mama. Here we gonna throw him in the pit.
Why do I hear banjos?
I think that takes it to a different area of creepy. That like the rich guy trope has been used so many times, and it's one of those things. It's like, rich people bad. Like, yeah, I guess, but like, I guess the fucking hillbilly thing has been done a bunch too, but. Still, I think that idea is creepier, personally. But
all right, so we're gonna do one more, or?
That was the main story I have for tonight. Unless you want to do another one, or we've got how much time do you want to go through tonight?
We still got I think 2 left on our no sleeps.
Okay, we can do that.
We can roll a no sleep, and then we'll break into Shadow and see what it's like, and we might not get very far in it tonight, but we'll at least get through a little bit of it.
Sure.
So the 2 that we have, and I'll let you. Oh,
Princess, thank you.
I don't think we've done. You're going to notice a woman in your home.
I gotta pull it up. Hold on. Technical difficulties. You're going to notice a woman in your home. Control C. Control V. Oh, we're still on story. What do I switch for? No,
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
people need to see the Tricomy. Hold on. There we go. There's the man, the myth, the legend. We're still back. We're still here. Okay.
Still pulling the Canadian.
Still pulling the Canadian. All right, we are now back onto the Reddit No Sleep. This one is called "You're Going to Notice a Woman in Your Home. You Must Ignore Her." This was written about 6 years ago, or at least published on here 6 years ago. I don't know when it was actually written. By a Reddit user named Rhaegar with a 3 in the middle. So it's RA3GAR. I'm assuming that's a House of Dragon or Game of Thrones reference. But it's not too terribly long.
Game of Thrones.
It's a fucking Game of Thrones reference. Comment below if you know. But you wanna kick us off and I'll finish it up, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta get it pulled up here. I had the other one pulled up.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute.
What was the second one I can grab while you're doing that?
The second one was I found a disturbing yoga stream. If I stop, she dies.
Also a good idea. I mean, not the yoga stream, the story reading, but
story.
Yeah.
Okay, get this pulled up.
That's not what I did.
Get her on the screen.
Control V. There we go.
So fast.
That's how you do it, people. Control C, Control V. You gotta learn how to use your computer.
Shit up.
Sorry, I'm very in the hillbilly night. I'm gonna start throwing hillbillies into like everything we do now. You'll be like, Horror Drunk, you're doing a lot of like British people. Well, it's about to get real fucking southern, if you ask me.
That's 8 up.
He said with dignity, Paul!
Paul.
Come save me!
Hey, Paul.
Them gators, they looking real ornery. Alright, whatever. Alright, you're gonna kick us off, right?
Sure, I'll kick us off. Why not?
Alright.
It was December of 1999 when she infested our quiet Midwestern home. My father called for me from downstairs. I assumed it was time for dinner. He was standing at the bottom of the stairs and had his hand up in an effort to keep me from coming down. The moment I saw the panic in his eyes, I knew something was wrong. I want you to listen to me very carefully, he said. My heart started to race as he continued. It is very important that you keep your eyes on me. You're going to notice someone else in our home, but you must ignore as much as possible. I almost started laughing, my 12-year-old mind trying to comprehend what he was getting at. Assuming this was some sort of out-of-character joke. Before I could respond, he continued. She's going to whisper things, follow you, and whatever else she can to get your attention. It's going to be very difficult, son, but you must never interact with her. I promise she will leave, but only if you pretend she isn't there, and try not to think about her. Promise me. There were so many things I wanted to ask him, but I was too frightened and confused. I managed to spit out, "Okay, Dad." "All right, come downstairs. It's time for dinner. Hurry. I've made her stronger just by telling you. But I had to. I can't afford you looking at her by mistake. Trust me. Now stay focused."
Okay, so real quick. There's going to be someone in the house. You don't want your son to look at her. Your first reaction is, hey, but it's dinner time. Can't let my son go hungry.
Can't just bring the food up to the room?
Or just, you know what, hey, kiddo, you're 12. That's a reasonable age. We're not going to have any pizza rolls tonight. Go ahead and go to bed hungry tonight. This is for your own good. Sorry.
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, is she always there though? Well, she can't have always been there.
No, this is gonna be like a one-time thing or something. Or like, what's the stipulation? Does he have to come down? Like, what? I'm trying to figure out in my head this world where your son has to come down, and the best option is don't make your kid go sit upstairs under the fucking bed like he would want to do anyways, because you're putting him in the line of fire for fucking dinner. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah. Maybe they'll explain it.
I did as I was told and slowly crept down the stairs, keeping my eyes glued to my father as he backpedaled into the kitchen. I felt the temperature drop significantly as I reached the first floor. I smelled a familiar, sickening, sour scent in the air. It reminded me of the time a raccoon died in our wall and stunk up at the house for a whole week. My father and I sat down at the table at the same time. My sister was across from me, her head hung, and her eyes stared at the empty porcelain plate in front of her. My mother pulled a casserole out of the oven. Her eyes were swollen and tear-stained. I kept my focus on my family, but out of the corner of my eye, I could see a blurry mess of dark, matted hair and sickly gray skin. There was no energy in the kitchen, drained of all the warmth and laughter that usually accompanied our meals. I could probably let you take it from there.
Yeah. Okay. Before we start, I got chills. Well. So far, well done. Because man, it doesn't go out like come out and explain it. It just gives you descriptive terms and makes you build your own monster, which is, I think, quintessential when it comes to like these horror stories. Like, when you tell me what to be scared of, I'm not gonna be scared. But like when you give me just enough descriptive terms to like make me build the monster myself, that in its own right, that's where horror lies. So, well done so far. My sister grabbed my knee under the table and whispered, "Can you see her too?" I nodded. "Quiet," my father hissed. The woman walked forward with wet, crackling footsteps. The smell was nauseating. She crept towards the table, stopping directly behind my sister, only a few inches away, and rested a decrepit hand on her shoulder. She winced in fear and stared at me. I immediately put my head down. My mother served our dinner, doing the best to pretend as if everything was okay. I could see my father clutching my sister's hand underneath the glass table in an attempt to keep her from completely losing it. My sister spent the entire dinner with the skeletal hand on her shoulder, nearly inaudible. Whispers spewed from the woman's mouth and filled the room like white noise. And that's how we lived for months. 4 months?! Whew! Okay. Doing our best to live a normal life despite the ever-present unwanted guest. Even if we left the house...
Sorry, I'm ahead of you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go on.
Don't get ahead.
I figured it.
Even if we left the house, she was somehow able to follow us. Whenever the 4 of us were in the car, she could be seen in the rearview mirror standing on the side of the road. My parents didn't let anyone visit and never let us stay at a friend's home during the months of hell. We were able to...
So, yeah, I knew what you were getting at. For months, like leave the dang house, but they just cut that off.
Yeah.
Just completely took your legs out from underneath you. Like, you're like, oh, you just leave the house or, deal with it. It's like, no,
they're haunted.
She's everywhere.
Is this during the summer, or are the kids just being like, well, you're not going to go to school. Guess you're homeschooled now. Like, right. I hope mom and dad work from home. Like, damn. No, that would suck. Months. Like, I thought this was gonna be like a one-day thing. Like, the way it said in the beginning, it kind of sounded like, all right, it's gonna happen for a minute, and like it'll be fine. But dude, you're living with fucking the bad guy from the Insidious movies #1 standing behind you at all times. Like, fuck that.
Right.
Okay. We were able to whisper to one another when it was absolutely necessary to discuss her presence, if she wasn't too close. My father made us promise to never tell anyone. That was the only way to quarantine her. The parasite of attention. We concluded that she infected a single household at a time, unable to be seen by anyone outside the home unless their mind had been tainted with knowledge of her existence. I learned a few years later that my father was the reason for her arrival. His sister back in the 70s had been infected from another, and it followed my aunt to their home. In 1999, for whatever reason, my father struggled to keep the thought of her at bay. In turn, he brought her back into his life. And ours. We kept the promise of keeping her a secret from others, and it was the hardest thing we ever did. All of us tried leaving the house as a group, and she followed. We couldn't bring ourselves to break our family apart. It was the hardest for my mother, who was stuck alone with her while we were at school and my father was at work, so they are leaving to do that. Everything changed the day my mother broke. It was a snowy February night. We had finished dinner, and my mother decided to go to bed early. She was sitting on the bed, making herself almost impossible to ignore. My mother couldn't take it. I heard her scream from the bedroom, demanding that she leave us alone. My father sprinted upstairs and tried to stop her. That was the last I ever saw of my mother. A pool of blood on the white carpet was all that remained. The woman was still there, but my mother was gone. In the following weeks, she whispered to me. She told me that I could see my mother again. All I had to do was look and ask how. I never did. The reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to think about her. I saw her again this morning for the first time in 18 years. I can't afford to lose my wife or children to the parasite. I need you to think about her dark hair, gray skin. Think about her in your home so that when she may leave mine, you're already infected and eventually you're going to notice a woman in your home. You must ignore her for your own good. I'm so sorry.
Yep, my hair's standing. My hair's standing.
Oh no, dude! We've been infected. All right, I want to say, I grabbed the story. You're the one that said we should read it.
It's my damn fault.
I'm not taking total blame on this one, okay? Like, yes, I grabbed the story. It was high up there, but I didn't say read it.
Look, I had the yoga story. I said you choose between the two stories, and then you went with this one. I'm blaming it all on you.
No. Chat.
I told you. I had the yoga story pulled up.
Chat. Tell him. We still have a yoga story. All right. 9 out of 10. Dude, almost perfect.
Dude.
Almost
Most
perfect.
Definitely.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm you know what? I'm gonna give it that 10 because the only issue I was having for a bit was the backstory, but they hit you with the backstory towards the end. So it was absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna give it my full 10.
The only thing pulling me away from the 10 is I just wanted a little bit more on, because he talks about later on it was the reason that her arrival, blah 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 blah. But then he talks about this part of other families, and he kind of figured out that like other families would have known about it, and so like I want to know how he got that information. That's the only thing pulling it away from me. Is I would love a story about like, you know, I reached out to somebody or somebody reached out to me, letting me know or something like that like they were plagued by her before, but then you're gonna get it too. So it's the where he got the information that he knows that like giving it to us is gonna save his family is where I'm like, that's all I need. I want that. That's it. You give me that, 10 out of 10. Rhaegar with the 3 in the middle. Well done, man. Hey, golf clap and a half right there, dude.
100%.
If anybody watching enjoyed it as much as we did, please check out Rhaegar's stuff. If they've got any more material out there, give him a like, give him an upvote. I'm not logged into this because you people don't need to know it, but I will be upvoting this on my own personal Reddit because, boy, howdy was that good. I love the very first comment that just says asshole.
Right? What are you gonna do this to us?
Yeah.
What I do?
Yeah. But man, well done. Whew.
For sure.
All right, we got the yoga stream is next.
You want to pull this yoga? You want to pull the yoga stream too?
Yeah, you said 2 more. You kidding me?
Okay.
I love this stuff. I live for this.
All right, we'll pull the yoga stream.
All right, while you get it up, I will start with my stuff here. This next story is going to be called "I Found a Disturbing Yoga Stream. If I stop watching, I can't save her." This was uploaded about 5 years ago to the r/NoSleep. It was the artist or the author in question is called Relicular. So if you enjoy the story, as I'm hoping we also will, give them a like, give them a follow, give them a thumbs up over here on the Reddit. But I think we're going to have Tricomy kick us off much as he did last time, and I'll finish. I will jump in at about, let's say, this brings us to yesterday. Maybe. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get this closed out. There we go. All right. I think I'm good to go. I gotta say the relicular. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell.
Relicular.
just saying.
Oh, let me get my pen.
All right. Here we go. She called it yoga for one.
Oh, but what if
I
for
found
2?
her
Sorry.
See, now you broke me already.
Sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I got excited.
Done.
I hear yoga and the brain goes one space. Okay, I'm sorry. But what if for 2? Just,
I found her stream a month ago during a rare confluence of self-disdain and spare time that collided into something resembling motivation. Tucked between the kickboxing classes and the home gym meatheads was her thumbnail. It caught my eye. I'm sure it did.
Oh yeah.
It was a simple shot of her face, so near to the camera that I could count the freckles. Her teeth a little too large for her mouth, and her nose ever so slightly crooked.
Okay.
I've never been the type of guy to consider yoga, but I tuned in, and in a matter of seconds, I was entranced. The girl was in her living room, a haphazard scene. The floor speckled with sad little plants and stacks of magazines. She posed with her hands on the floor and her hips thrust in the air, her butt perched in the center of the screen. This is gonna get up to PG-13 here in a minute.
the next line.
I decided to stay a while. I'm sure you did.
Oh, who wouldn't?
I had no yoga mat, so I laid out a towel. I'm sure you did. It was difficult to follow along. She talked a lot, and only a fraction of it was about the routine. Press your heels together and bend your head toward your feet, or bend your head to your feet, breathing deeply. My feet smell like peaches and cream today. Makes me want to gobble them up. I love summer peaches. I love biting into them and feeling the juice erupt into my mouth. It reminds me of the time when this just got really PG-13.
Yeah. Keep reading the smut.
These dirty books.
Yeah, right. We know. Everyone knows what we're here for.
You were on the wrong side of Reddit.
Sorry. This is the wrong no sleep. This is the no sleep because you just can't get it out of your head.
So bad.
I know. It's gonna get better though. I hope. We'll see.
Or it could get worse. And I fell into the meditative quagmire woven by her words, inhaling the scent of my own socks, failing to notice she'd moved into a different pose. After a while, my muscles trembled with the effort of supporting my soft body in these unfamiliar positions, so I called it a day. It was then that I noticed it. Subscribers 1.
Bullshit.
That was me. I was the only one watching. I felt an inexplicable flood of guilt when I closed the browser, like I was abandoning her.
There is enough thirsty ass fucking dudes out in the world that like, my feet smell like peaches and cream. You said feet? It's over.
She's got the feet subscribers.
The peaches and cream feet? Oh, dude, like they're out there. Okay, they're out there. That's all I gotta say.
Are you
No. No.
He's like, yeah, they're out there, and they're me.
However, if anybody would like to pay me for feet pics, you comment below, and we'll discuss a price at a later date.
We will definitely send them.
Just let me know.
I checked back into her channels for the next few afternoons. It was the strangest thing. She was always streaming. She was either unaware of my presence or apathetic to association. Didn't seem to change whether I was there or not. She was often mid-sentence when I logged in. She was flirty in a way that made it clear she wasn't trying to be. Charmingly raw in her tendency to fumble instructions. Curiosity overwhelmed me. I yearned to discover more about this fascinating creature.
Yeah, that's where you fucked up, bro. Never call her a creature. Okay.
Her movements drew me in. Like she was grasping at me through the screen. I marveled at the feeling of her being her silent voyeur.
Disgusting.
I developed more comfort with basic poses, though I still couldn't get my hands anywhere near my toes. Too soon, she notched up the level of difficulty. She eased herself into the splits, each leg outstretched. Her toes pointed at perfect right angles. I tried my best to replicate the pose. My groin protesting the pressure.
I bet it did.
Each day, she pushed a little farther. She curved her spine sharply behind her, a graceful arc. She lifted her back leg high into the air at an angle that seemed to wrench her hip out of place.
Okay.
I forced my body into the closest approximations of her geometry that my tendons would allow. My teeth gritted against my sharp warnings issued by my nerves. At night, I dreamed that she was breaking my joints, cracking my limbs into the clean shapes that she maintained so effortlessly.
Homie's got it too. Like,
that's really weird.
I never got into the whole BDSM fucking dominatrix shit, and I feel like homie's like fucking poster child for it at this point, because I've never had a dream. I've been married for a long time, and then there's never been a dream where I've ever, or even a day, I've looked at my wife and it's like, I need you to
break my joints.
I need you to fucking step on me.
Break my joints, crack my limbs.
I need to feel pain. Like, no, I'm good. I'll stick with the pleasure side of the shit. I don't like the pain side. Maybe that's weird. Maybe we're weird for that. I don't know. Hold on. I do enjoy. So I think all creatures do enjoy it at least a little bit, but I feel like I think you're with me on this one. The level of pain you get from like working out or doing like an exercise or some sort of like physical activity, like the sore muscles and stuff like that, that's a whole different like enjoyable type of pain. But I don't get this side of it.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
You don't like when you go and you do a good workout session and you're like, man, my arms are just beat and my legs, oh, they hurt. And like, but that it's almost like you're hurting because you know you did so well, or you pushed yourself so, hard that it's pain of growth. It's that type of stuff. And I feel like that's an enjoyable side of pain that I can get behind.
Nope. You're just weird.
Okay.
What was that noise?
Everybody comment below if they would like to enjoy my weirdness. I'll be weird.
No, I mean I get the working out, and I don't necessarily enjoy the pain, because like it usually comes for me 2 days later, and I hate it.
It's a badge of honor.
Nah, I'd rather not have it.
I don't know, man. I enjoy it. I think it's that one thing that like you do it where it's like, all right, like when you put the effort in, that's almost like a side effect of the effort, and the side effect is going to happen, and it's because you know you put the effort in that you'd be like, hey, I know I pushed myself hard because I've got this, and it all kind of comes in this like culmination of like the pain is a good thing, and I enjoy that side of it.
Listen, when I do triceps and I can't lift my arms above my head because they hurt, I'm not down with it. Because they gotta work. I gotta work.
Why do you have to lift your arms above your head? I mean, come on, man.
I gotta work.
He's short, everybody.
Shush.
Somebody put the cereal on the second shelf again.
I'm so done with you. Back to the story.
All right. One day.
You son of a bitch. One day, she twisted her arm so far behind her that I felt sympathetic pain, and folded herself up so that her bent legs swooped around her shoulders, touching her toes behind her neck. She smiled at the camera demurely, politely. "You want to see me bend into a pretzel, don't you?" She asked. That was the first time she addressed me. I would forget to eat. I'd wake up on the couch, having dozed off, and she'd be murmuring about pomegranates while her forehead brushed her knees. Did she sleep? Did she eat? I saw no evidence of it. Every time I moved, my body ached with the memory of being stretched to its limit. I was spending 10, 12, 14 hours a day on her stream.
Oh my gosh.
She spoke to me frequently. I know you've been watching me. I think you like watching me. How far do you want me to twist for you?
Why?
See, I told you it could get worse.
On an unrelated side note, can I get a couple of those like type of super fans? I'd like one. Like I hope anybody watch me. If you want to be with that type of super fan, I'm not gonna say no.
You're not twisting for them.
If y'all want me to twist, if y'all want me to twist, just tell me how far. I'm not as I can't, not like I used to, but I'll twist.
You're not running yoga for it.
I'm not. Yeah,
you got to do it right.
I don't think I'm ever gonna run yoga, guys. I'm sorry. That's where I think I draw the line. Nobody wants to see that, by the way. If you absolutely want to see that, I'm sorry. There's 5,000 other freaking YouTube videos out there of people. I think on both sides of the spectrum, both prettier and uglier than me. They're probably doing it. So pick your poison.
The bend and snap.
What?
That's what my old body. Tricomy put the bend and snap. That's what my old body does. I try to bend and everything snaps.
The bend and snap. Isn't that from Legally Blonde or something?
I don't know.
I mean, I've got girls now, so like I'm pretty sure that's a Legally Blonde reference.
Don't pretend you watched that movie because of the girls.
What's her name? The chick who plays Legally. She's hot as shit. So.
Tricomy said yes, Legally Blonde.
Oh, I get 1 point in the girl dad column for tonight. Way to go.
He gets 1 point in he watches girly movie own column.
I'm just saying, if you watch the beginning thing, hold on. Excuse me. The whole beginning thing where she's like in the fucking hot tub and she's like, I'm gonna be accepted to Harvard and let me show you why. And she jumps out of the fucking hot tub. I'm like.
What is this stream devolving into?
Look, man, we're talking about yoga. Legally Blonde's getting thrown in here somewhere. I don't even know where the horror's at, other than the fact I can't believe someone would like 14 hours of a stream. If I do a 14-hour stream, who's gonna watch it? Somebody.
I'm telling you, you got us on the wrong side of Reddit.
It's on the no sleep. It says scary.
Oh, it's on no sleep, all right.
It says scary experiences over here. Maybe the scary part is the fact that, like, there's just a bunch of dudes fucking subbing for this chick. I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Anyway. The fluid shifting of her body into vertices and curves and delicate polygons was hypnotizing. I was getting lost in the light of flickering flame as it swirled into different patterns. I was working myself into something more pliable, molding myself into something like her image. Okay. It's difficult to pinpoint the moment she went too far. It was more like the creep of quicksand than any one single point.
Okay.
She would lie on her back and lift herself on the palms and soles of her feet, torso thrusting at the ceiling like she was something from The Exorcist. She would inch her hands and feet closer together, folding her body backwards on itself until she was nearly split in half. And then she would skitter forward until the whites of her eyes flooded the screen, scaring me so much that I jumped. And she would laugh as if she made a joke.
Okay, I know people can do that because a lot of that shit from, like, The Ring and whatever like that, that was an actual person doing all that shit. So I know that people can do that. On a side note, this took a turn hard, and I went from, like, this to this, like, in no time, okay? Everybody knows.
Oh, wait for this next line. They can do those things like the Ring, but this one I've never seen. She would twist her head around like an owl and thrust it between her thighs.
Okay.
Always blinking at the screen, always smiling like we were sharing some inside secret, like I was in on the sly conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
See? That I've never seen.
It's on there somewhere. Somebody's got it.
She said, "You like this, don't you, Mr. Smith? Am I your foldable pocket toy?"
Okay, come on now. Probably. We're almost there. Foldable pocket toy. All right.
Were you taking over?
This brings us to yesterday's. Well, I'll start. You're almost there.
Okay. Smith is a very common last name.
Oh, she got right.
There was a non-zero chance she'd just guessed correctly. But this freaked me out enough to slam the laptop shut, shattering the image of her toothy smile.
Okay.
I tried to resume normal life, but I had almost nothing to fill my time except television and social media and filling out applications for jobs I'd never went to work. A strange sensation tickled at me, like something was wrong, like I was forgetting something. And powerful waves of guilt, the same guilt I'd felt when I closed her stream the first day I'd found her. I tried not to. I really, really tried to stay away. But the urge overwhelmed me, so I returned. For the first time, she wasn't on screen when I logged. I peered closer at the scene, seeing the familiar yoga mat on the coffee table, the magazines. There was a soft noise coming from just off screen. A muffled noise, irregular and halting. A human voice. I turned the volume all the way up, and I couldn't tell if it was laughter, crying. Feeling sick, I closed the stream.
Okay, that's ominous as shit. Like, dude, get some respect for yourself, though, bro. You're not going to work. All you're doing is sitting there watching this chick on your TV or whatever. Like, all I have is television, social media. Like, dude, come on. But that scene with the laughter off screen. I'm getting
crying.
I'm getting the my wife is staring at me and smiling from around corners vibes again. That's what it's giving me.
Man.
It's giving me that hard. I'm getting it hard.
Everybody's gonna steal our stories again.
No, You do tell our story with like a little bit of credit, please. Or it's not our story. we lay no claim to these stories. So,
No.
but you know, if you want to pass us along, how you doing? All right. This brings us to yesterday. I had spent countless hours thinking about her, wondering what she was doing, whether she was still telling stories to her invisible visitor. I logged in. Her eyes filled the webcam field of vision so suddenly that I scrambled backward. At that sound echoing around the walls of her apartment and mine, it was now clear that it was the sound of misery. Her moan was wordless, and her face backed away. I saw why. Her bare foot was stuffed halfway in her mouth. Her jaw nearly unhinged to accommodate it. The ball wedged between her teeth. Tears were streaming down her face, pooling around the corner of her stretched lips. I was not expecting that. Holy shit. Her arms were folded behind her head, and the other leg was tucked under the first. She was struggling, and I realized that she was stuck. She was trapped in that position, a twisted ball of limbs and strained joints, unable to speak. I stared slack-jawed at the screen, and her eyes met mine, seeming to blink in recognition. The force of her sobs crescendoed, and in relief, I wasn't sure. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know her name or where she lived. I didn't even know for sure that she was in the same country. I sat frozen for long moments, watching the twitching of her limbs as she tried to wrench herself out of the cage her body made. Then it struck me. I could type. Can you type your address? This message pinged its arrival at her computer, our first real communication. She shook her head almost imperceptibly. With slight range of motion her position allowed. I tried again. Can you type with your nose? Her eyes flickered across the page as she read my words. With great effort, she rocked herself over, landing face first on the keyboard. She typed. She can do it. My heart pounded. I said, try again. I watched as she managed to prop herself precariously on one shoulder. Her body was convulsing with the force of her sobs. Eventually, she leaned forward carefully, delicately, and pressed the tip of her nose to the keys. 3. Yes, that was it. That's great. Give me another number. We traded for long, suspenseful minutes. Her giving me one number or letter at a time, me writing them down and encouraging her as best I could. You're doing great. I'm here with you. Help is on the way. She had cobbled together a number and a street. It had taken us nearly an hour to get to this point. She had just finished typing apartment 12 when she stopped, trembling with the effort of keeping herself upright, and we met eyes again through the camera, hers shining with pain and fear, and then she collapsed. She rolled out of sight, panicking. I sent her dozens of frantic messages. What city? What state? Stay with me. I'm here. Where are you? I need more. It became clear that no more was coming. Her sobs stilled, her breath quieted. I searched the address and found every city in the country where the address she'd given me existed. I called every police station in every jurisdiction within range. It took a lot of explanation, but after hours of work, there was nothing I could do but sit and wait nervously by the phone and stare at the empty apartment frame with my laptop in it. This turned dark quick. All I could do was type. I'm here with you. You'll be safe. This will be over soon. You're not alone. The ringing of the phone nearly sent me out of my skin. It was 1 a.m. Did you find her? I asked, desperately scanning the scene for any sign of activity. Tell me she's all right. The voice on the other end of the line sighed a deep sigh of sadness or frustration I couldn't say. We found her, he said with his words gentle but guarded. Stuck in that position, as you described. She's not okay. She died of dehydration. What? No. That's not possible. I just spoke to her. I don't know what you saw, son. I truly don't. But the girl we found has been dead for a month. Wow. Okay, so she's been dead the whole time.
Wow.
You got a ghosts yoga stream that I'm assuming you're beating off to. And yeah. How long has he been watching her?
A while. I don't know if he ever said how long. Well,
I'm trying to see. He was saying he was getting in shape. I'm trying to see where it says. How? She addressed me. I don't know. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. But I mean, I don't think it was very long. I think you're right. It was only a couple days. I did think he was saying something along the lines of like he felt better, like he was actually like improving. Every time I moved, my body ached, being limited. Some evidence of this, blah blah blah. Fluid shifting.
I mean, I didn't see any point where he gave any kind of specific time. I mean,
he was saying he was watching her for like 14 hours a day, though. So I mean, maybe it's been a month. Maybe she's already been dead, and like this is. Huh. But
right?
It's so crazy, man. Well done. The words and the descriptions, well done. It was creepy. It was disturbing. It was sexy. It kind of hit a lot of notes here. The only thing I think for my rating though, I'm gonna give this like a good 7 out of 10. I think it was good, but I want a little more.
I'm going up above you. I'm going with an 8.
You're going with 8?
I'm thinking it was very well written.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting here the whole time going, what is going on? Like, is she one of those like he said, the Exorcist type creatures? Like, you know, it's one of the things where like she was like doing all these weird things in the camera, and you're like, is it what is going on? What's happening? And the again, that little bit of a twist at the end. The knowledge that she's been gone this entire time.
Yeah.
Like, that just it tied for me. It put it all in a nice bow and tied it off at the end.
This kind of feels like this is an Exorcist type thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, well, because that's one of the staples of like possession movies that you get a lot. It is a very crazy story. Princess Rage does agree. Yeah, that was crazy. When you watch like Exorcist movies. There's always that very common trope of them twisting themselves in very random things, and it does slowly grow. So I wonder if maybe, because there's this whole comment where she's like, am I your foldable pocket toy? Just has like a big screaming thing from like the actual Exorcist movie, like he made a reference to in the thing. So maybe she's possessed.
I know, because when he got there, she was gone. So like she wouldn't be possessed.
What do you mean when you got there, she was gone? No, she wasn't gone. She was still...
Yeah, the whole time she'd been streaming to him, she was dead.
She was dead, but she was still there. Like, she was stuck in that position. She died.
She was possessed. The thing just all of a sudden decided it didn't want to be there no more?
It killed her. I'm assuming that's what happened. Here's what I'm assuming.
No, she's been dead the whole time that he's been watching her stream.
Yeah.
So she's been a ghost this entire time. Or you're gonna argue this with me?
No. Or this is one of them like new fancy demons, and he sat there and like he tortured this lady like the whole time and possessed her, and like the reason she's streaming is because he recorded the entirety of the possession, and you know, he's a demon, so he's gonna be able to be like, oh, Mr. Smith, so he's gonna be able to know that anyways, because they know some crazy shit. And then the streaming that's happening is literally him posting the video and like on a streaming platform and be like, there you go.
But you fail to read the end of the story.
I'm reaching.
I know you are. You're reaching so hard, it's not gonna work, because it literally says
She's been dead
that
for
we
months.
found her.
I know.
She's stuck in that position. Wait, no, that's not possible. I just spoke to her. I don't know what you saw, son. I truly don't, but she's been dead for a month. I just spoke to her. She's been dead for a month.
He spoke through the whole thing, and all I'm saying is, this is a demon. Demons, we know, or we speculate, have some sort of precognition. They can kind of see the future in a way. And so what I'm thinking is happening is that this demon knows that, like, this is gonna fuck him up, and like she really doesn't know what's going on. So the whole time she's totally possessed. So he's recording this again. I know I'm stretching.
You need to be rowing a boat right now because you're reaching so hard.
I'm through the screen. I'm reaching through, trying to get through. I feel like that's, in my mind, that's where the story was going. That she was possessed the whole time, and that, like, you know, this is literally like, because I mean, she's always on, and so that's the part where, like, it's a little weird. Because the other alternative is what? That she's a ghost who came back to life and fucking live streamed the whole time. And then she slowly just became more and more pliable.
See, folks, if you go over to his YouTube and you see the pictures of me going on his thumbnails, that's how I usually look when I'm dealing with him.
Yeah, I capture it pretty well.
It's because of things like this.
Man, I'm working on a thumbnail game. All right, that thumbnail game's up. Again, I like the story. That's where the story went in my mind. That's where it went in my mind.
Well, you're wrong.
Agree, disagree?
There's no disagreement. We have the information sitting right in front. We can't disagree on something that's sitting right in front of us.
Relicular, well done, sir or madam. It was a well done story. I wanted a little bit more information. I wanted to be able to be like, not have my mind wander as far as Tricomy's did, apparently, because he's off the rocker over here. I mean, I know what happened, but yeah. So other than that. Well done. I enjoyed it. I think this was our last Reddit story we had on the list. We need a new list. If anybody has any ideas for any more Reddit stories, I mean, I can find them. That's fine. But I love suggestions.
I think Tricomy sent me one, so I'll have to pull it up for next week's Friday stream.
Heck yeah! I think next week is going to be next week's Thanksgiving. So
Thursday's Thanksgiving. It's
right.
The day after Thanksgiving.
I know, but I'm saying, like, next week's Thanksgiving, so I don't think we're gonna do a Thursday stream.
No, we won't be doing a Thursday stream. We will be doing a Friday stream.
Yeah, we might move Friday to Saturday. But
Thursday to Saturday.
That's what I meant.
Right.
That's what I meant. But
kind of like Halloween and it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Like all that worked out last time. So again, anybody who watches stuff, if you enjoyed the comment, make sure to go and check out Relicular. They did a really good job with the story. Make sure you support the artists. I will be supporting them on my own Reddit, giving them an upvote for this. I know it's 5 years ago, but I'm hoping they still are active and still looking at their stuff. If you enjoyed our content, our descriptions, and our artisanal fucking, I don't know, bread. Who gives a shit? The way we produce this and talk about it. If you like it, if you're on YouTube, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a follow. If you do subscribe to the channel, write down below in the comments that you subscribed. I'd love to sit there and reach back out to you. I like to follow and support all of my new subscribers. So you will be getting a message from me if you do so. So welcome in if you do. If you're over on the Twitch, make sure you check out Tricomy at twitch.tv/Tricomy. That's Tricomy. He's a new streamer. He's been doing well. He's my partner in crime. He's the one that keeps me in check whenever he thinks he knows better than me, which is more often than not, correct, actually. So, I mean, like... But, yeah.
Somebody's got to keep you in line.
All in all, not too bad. So, this is about 2 hours, man. We've been going for a little bit tonight. I'm actually getting a little bit on the tired side, so I think I'm not going to be able to do this next game. Okay. So we might just call this one right here. So,
are we still replacing our Lost Thursday with tomorrow?
I think that's the plan. We're gonna run with that idea that tomorrow will be another gaming. Well, our gaming Thursday we got missed out on for issues. But we will be playing a new video game, or it's not new, but it's new to us. Where we work together and try to solve some puzzles. You know how that usually goes over with us, so... Yeah.
It comes up for some good times.
But thank you, horror fans, for coming and checking out with us tonight. Be on the lookout for the podcast stuff to be coming up soon. I'm working on it. I promise. We have a logo. We have a name. I just need to sit there and actually have some time to go through and actually make a little bit more of it, and get it all the red tape signed and dotted and crossed off or whatever the fuck it takes to do it. But be on the lookout for Scary Sips to be coming soon, and of course our nostalgic podcast that we are in the works on. That's a little bit farther down the road, but we are slowly making our way there. We'll take any suggestions for names. Again, anything you want us to know, comment down below, and we will check it out. But other than that, we'll see you next time, horror fans.
Bye.